I'm the girl that got all her ribs removed, and today I'm going to show you guys without the corset months post-op.
2 months ago, I had 10 of my ribs surgically fractured and sculpted inward in order to achieve a smaller waist.
Getting the actual procedure done was so easy. Literally all you do is go, lay down, and wake up. I'd say my highest pain level was a 3. It was not bad at all. And then majority of the time I would say it was like a 1 or 2.
It doesn't really hurt. Like, it doesn't, I've never felt pain in my butt.
The breast augmentation, super easy as well. 1 out of 10 pain. And
we're back now with cosmetic surgery chains rapidly expanding nationwide. Growing with them, the number of lawsuits over aggressive sales tactics and lax medical standards.
After seeing her advertisements online, she'd gone to board-certified plastic surgeon Heidi Reganis for liposuction and a Brazilian butt lift. Days later, Smith was dead.
The pain that I felt was just unbearable.
Cosmetic procedures are more popular than ever.
2 other women died following cosmetic procedures.
Every year, it's almost the same procedures that are the most common, you know? And it turns out, again, that liposuction is probably the #1 invasive cosmetic procedure in the States.
The day 3 pain has easily been the worst pain that I've ever felt. It's the worst. 10 out of 10 pain, the worst pain that I have ever experienced in my entire life. I think I'm gonna die in this house. I just think it's getting worse every day. There's so many costs. Will either charge you a lot or they won't help you. So I don't even know if they're gonna be able to do it. I might have to just take it out myself, and that's terrifying and also dangerous. Because I feel like people don't like talk about it. People don't discuss like the risks and the emotions that you go through before something like this. If I had known the reality of how bad the recovery is for this, I don't think that I would have gotten this, honestly.
Ever since I was 16 years old, I have wanted plastic surgery. And I know that sounds ridiculous and depressing, but I grew up in like the Instagram and Snapchat and early TikTok era of the world. And we were literally taking pictures and filming ourselves every 2 days. And being a rectangle girly with a natural apple-shaped body, food immediately went to my abdomen and my back area, a solid 10 pounds before they ever reached my legs or below my hips. Even in my skinniest days, on a less than 500 calorie per day diet with nothing but a mango ice vape as a snack, I still had a tummy. And I was still a rectangle. You can't really change your genetic shape or bone structure with weight loss. And as I got older and also got bigger, the apple shape to my body got a lot more prominent. And even worse when I experienced a record-breaking 10-pound gain in 1 month. Thank you, Seroquel. So being now in my mid-20s, awaiting my university graduation ceremony, and with an extremely supportive and loving boyfriend to help me all along the way, I thought, why not? Plus, it seems like everyone is getting surgery these days. All my favorite influencers are suddenly getting something called Lipo 360. Kylie Jenner just dropped her new breast implant size under the muscle and through the armpit. And everyone's doing the me with $5,000 versus me without $5,000 TikTok trend to show their nose jobs. So since everyone's doing it, what could possibly go wrong? Why not?
I don't understand why there's so much going wrong. I don't understand. Nobody told me that this was gonna be so hard.
So in this video today, we're going to talk about the glamourization of plastic surgery, specifically body modification surgery. Why suddenly are influencers being so transparent about their body surgeries that it almost feels like they're promoting surgery to us? And the extremely important details about plastic surgery that they do not tell you. The very real dangers, risks, complications, post-surgery depression, unaccredited and unlicensed clinics operating all throughout the United States that are all over Instagram. The better before theory, where even after you muster up the courage and the finances to get something done to your body that you really wanted for a long time, prepare to be bullied and judged in a whole new way now. And finally, can I honestly stand here and say that body surgery was a good decision? Hey y'all, it's Mari and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about pop culture, trending topics, and whatever mess I find on the internet this week. But it's been a month since I posted, and now you know why. So I had Lipo 360 with arm lipo and chin lipo. And then I had some fat injected into my hip dips to fix the squareness for like body contouring. And I also need to use the compression garments. Underneath the compression garments, I have this foamy, and underneath the foamy, I have boards, and I have to wear these for another 6 to 7 weeks. Oh my god, I'm a grown woman. Why did I just do that? Before we get into this video, I want to give an obvious disclaimer about what I think about plastic surgery. I don't like the plastic surgery industry. I think the plastic surgery industry can be very harmful to women, and I feel like the industry kind of continuously creates like new insecurities for women so that they can push and market new surgeries. But the actual act of getting plastic surgery, I believe in a person's right to do what they want with their own body. Point blank period, end of conversation. I will always advocate for people to do and women to do what you want with your own body. I don't believe that it's morally okay to bully or alienate people for getting plastic surgery or modifying their body. Now, let's get into it today. So last year I started noticing a trend on TikTok where major celebrities like Kylie Jenner were suddenly admitting to having work done and exposing exactly what they had done and by who. And ever since like these super mega A-list celebrities started doing it and receiving a lot of support, other influencers, big and small, have started copying this trend of being transparent online about what they had done too. And while this type of transparency online can be great in an ethical sense, especially for like lifestyle and fitness and self-care influencers, so that their audience doesn't set like unrealistic expectations for themselves and then get flustered for as to why they're not getting the same results as their favorite influencer. I don't understand. I've been wearing this ridiculous face tape mask every night for the past 6 months. Why don't I look like Bella Hadid? I must have done 100 walking lunges by now with 2 water bottles in each hand. Why do I not have a fat ass? Being transparent online is also very important for people to make informed decisions. For example, if influencers weren't open about the work that they've had done online, I would have never found my doctor. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have ended up contracting a flesh-eating bacterial disease at a discount chop shop in Mexico City that I almost fell for. The old buy one, get one free Memorial Day special. $3,000 BBL trick. Damn Instagram Reels ads. If a surgery is on a discount, it's probably for a good reason, but I'll get to that later. I researched different doctors for almost a year beforehand, and since I naturally carry most of my fat in my abdomen area, what was really important to me was having a sculpted result with skin tightening, so I wouldn't have loose skin or need a tummy tuck later. And the first several doctors that I talked to told me that I needed a tummy tuck. But me being in my mid-20s, I haven't even had kids yet. I'm not about to get a tummy tuck before I have children. But then one fateful day, I opened my Instagram and I saw one of my favorite influencers, Olani Mori, post up in a hospital with a doctor who, low-key, I kind of thought he was Santos at first. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my god, Santos is in medical school. But that's how I found Dr. Israel Lopez Villalba, a top-rated plastic surgeon in Guadalajara, Mexico, who specializes in creating beautiful snatched waists with abs, stomach lines on women with my exact body type and without a tummy tuck at one of the nicest hospitals in the city. And if she hadn't posted about that, I would have fallen for the chop shop. I would have. Y'all might never have seen me again. I would have just disappeared one day. I would be a statistic. Transparency online is also really important so that we don't create like a warped perception of this effortless, I just woke up like this perfection. Because as long as they have money, people are still gonna get plastic surgery. They're going to get plastic surgery, cosmetic procedures, Botox, lasers, fillers. So when you open your phone, especially as like a young woman, you open your phone and you see every single person on your feed looks completely flawless, and you don't understand why, because they just got out of bed and their nose is cute, their skin is perfect, not a wrinkle in sight. Their eyebrows effortlessly shaped. Their lips the perfect shade of rosy, dusty pink. And you don't look like that. So, is there something wrong with you? But I have a little bit of a hot take. I think that too much transparency about surgeries can become a little bit toxic, a little bit of a double-edged sword. When people are constantly talking about the work they've had done, especially in a really positive light, without highlighting any sort of negatives, it does contribute to promoting plastic surgery. Even if you say, I'm not promoting plastic surgery, I'm just being transparent. When you talk about it in an overwhelmingly positive light continuously, it contributes to promoting that surgery. Because once people see it enough, especially in such a continuously positive way, it becomes normalized. And people's thought process goes from,
oh wow, I'm really glad she was open about having liposuction on her stomach, so she doesn't set unrealistic beauty standards or body goals for me,
to,
everyone's getting liposuction on their stomach. Maybe I need liposuction on my stomach.
And this is true about more than just plastic surgery. We saw it with eyelash extensions. We saw it with lip filler in 2016. We saw it with the Fox eye lift in 2020. And we saw it with Ozempic in 2025 and to this day. And coincidentally, a lot of my favorite influencers, like my personal favorite influencers, have all been open and transparent about getting Lipo 360, one of which who was a huge influence on my decision to go through with Lipo 360, Ari Kaistia. I actually don't know how to say her last name because she's never said it, Kaistia, or Burnt Toast Hee, some of y'all might know her as, on Instagram or TikTok. So Ari is still one of my favorite influencers. I love her, and I'm not criticizing just her per se. I'm just using her as an example because she was literally, like, her videos were literally contributing factors as to why I went and I got plastic surgery done. One of the videos I'm talking about is actually this video in particular.
In case you didn't know, Mama has lipo. Been about 3.5 months now since I got Lipo 360. You guys know I love Dr. Partington. He's so good. Getting the actual procedure done was so easy. Literally all you do is go, lay down, and wake up. And afterwards, you're just very swollen. Basically plump you up with a bunch of fluid so that they can suck out the fat. I feel like one really big misconception with lipo is that people only get it if they're overweight. I definitely wasn't overweight before I got lipo, but I actually got it for body contouring. That's why I'm looking a little more snatched now. Basically during the surgery, they just took the stubborn fat off of my hips, my back, and then feathered it out into the front. And Dr. Partington threw in a little, one of those snatch lines, you know, down the center. I've always wanted one of those. After the surgery, I would say my highest pain level was a 3. It was not bad at all. And then majority of the time, I would say it was like a 1 or 2. Keep in mind, I was just taking Tylenol. Dr. Partington does like a 24-hour recovery thing. Literally everything that I've gotten done by him, I'm chilling after like 4 hours after the surgery. I literally posted a TikTok like 3 hours after getting my lipo. I was going crazy dancing and I was fine. I either have a high pain tolerance or Dr. Partington is a magician because I've only taken Tylenol today and I just got out of surgery a few hours ago. Like what? Like what? Like what? Like what? I probably shouldn't do that. But like how did I just get Lipo 360 and no pain? No pain, no pain.
So
Easily been the worst pain that I've ever felt.
why am I in so much pain?
My incisions feel like a stabbing, burning, swelling pain.
Okay, here's the thing. Me and Ari's circumstances are very different. As you can see from her before pictures that she's posted, she was already quite small. She's a very petite woman. She doesn't carry a lot of weight at all in her top. Most of her weight actually looks like it's being carried on her butt. How does it feel to live my dream? Well, I mean, I am living it now, but maybe she had 1 pound of fat removed at the most. I had 18 pounds removed, 9 liters of fat removed in one go. I didn't realize, because nobody told me, not even the surgeon told me, which I think is kind of crazy, but that the more fat removed during liposuction, the harder and the more painful your recovery is. And to be fair, Ari probably didn't even know that either. But when people go online and they talk about only the positives of their experience, it was great. They had no issues, it was painless, it was perfect, it was easy. When multiple people keep saying that again and again, it doesn't realistically prepare the viewer for what their own experience may be like getting the same surgery done. Because everyone has different bodies, different circumstances, and everyone's body reacts to pain and trauma differently. And like I said, in my case, I only ever saw influencers talking about Lipo 360 as being painless, easy, and a fast recovery. That's obviously what I thought would happen for me. I think it's just because a lot of influencers who talk about having liposuction 360 done, they don't show what they look like before They just say, yeah, I had it done. They don't actually are like, okay, here's me before, because then I would have been like, oh, she was already skinny. It wasn't just Ari as well. It was multiple influencers. I think I have a whole folder saved of videos, like of different influencers that I saw and follow talking about Lipo 360 and how their experience was amazing and painless.
Guys, just reminding you that this is high def liposuction at its finest. They're lying to you. There's no bruising, scarring. It's just that. It looks so tasty.
Minimal downtime and already feeling like herself again.
As you know, I got liposuction 360 3 days ago. Like, it was so easy. I went into the office, and then 10 minutes later, I go into the operation room. I start talking to the people in there, and then I knock out, and I wake up, and I'm snatched. The only reason why I think I'm in barely any pain is because I'm like super healthy, super active, and I don't drink, I don't smoke, I do none of that stuff, and I prepped my body really well for the surgery.
But I'm telling y'all, it's almost ridiculous the amount of reviews that I looked up before going and getting my surgery, and the amount of influencers that were all saying, oh, it was just easy and painless. Cause y'all were already skinny. Y'all are a special case. Meanwhile, my fat ass was closing doors with my stomach. It's like if I went and I got this part of my nose injected with filler. Just this part. And then I went around and told everyone that I had a non-surgical nose job. People would be like,
wow, she's so transparent.
While technically true, it's not really the full truth. Because the truth is, I already have a straight nose with a little kind of button upturn thing going on here. That's why it's so easy for me to do my nose contour. The truth is, my genetics would play a huge role already. But people don't want to hear that, because that makes people angry, that makes people jealous, and that makes people disappointed. People would rather hear an explanation, something that makes logical sense, maybe something that would be attainable to them.
Well, the reason her butt is so big and her waist is so small is because she had a BBL. Makes sense.
Ironically, some of the best and most natural looking BBL results that I've seen have been on women who already had genetically big butts and smaller waists. And some of the worst, arguably worst results that I've seen have been on women who have already attempted their third round, trying to get the same results that girl number one already had with her genetics. I think another reason for this sudden rise in like these great glowing reviews of surgeons and surgery experiences may also be due to this new under-the-table medical marketing trend. A lot of people don't know this, but when you start to get a following, even a moderate one, you get approached by a lot of different businesses. Some of them are local businesses, some of them are even surgical offices. And it's becoming more and more common for plastic surgeons to offer discounted or even free plastic surgeries in exchange for reviews if they're an influencer. Dr. Partington, for example, which is Ari's plastic surgeon in Bellevue, Washington, offers discounts on plastic surgeries for influencers. I am in no way accusing Ari of faking her review. I genuinely think she just loves Dr. Partington and just had a really good experience because she was already thin and she already had the genetics for Lipo 360 for it to look amazing and for it to have no pain. But I don't doubt that there are influencers out there promoting surgeons, maybe not Dr. Partington, but other surgeons, to the highest extent and saying their experience was amazing and it was painless and effortless and they woke up the next day and they were fine because they got a 50% discount. But transparency, right? Transparency. So I'm gonna give you guys some real raw transparency in the difference between what I saw being promoted on social media versus what actually happened to me in real life when I got plastic surgery. And I want to include this because having experienced it, there is a huge lack of information online about body surgery, especially this particular surgery, and especially when it comes to getting plastic surgery in Mexico, because I did go abroad. So if you search something along the lines of finally opening up about my body surgery or I had a BBL on TikTok, the most common things you'll probably hear are, number one, it doesn't hurt, or there was minimal pain. Number two, surgery is super easy. Number three, I needed multiple rounds of BBL to get the results that I wanted. And number four, I just had my family member take care of me after surgery. It does hurt. Maybe not for everyone, but for the majority of people, especially if you're overweight and getting liposuction, it hurts a lot.
The day 3 pain has easily been the worst pain that I've ever felt. My butt is super swollen and inflamed and it hurts so much. It's itchy, but it's like itchy underneath the muscle. Like the skin is numb. The itchiness is coming from underneath my skin. Oh, it hurts so badly. My stomach hurts so badly and I still have tons of fluid that's draining out. I could barely sleep because the pain was just so bad. Day 6 post-op. It's like my back and my abdomen are burning. Like I just did a really, 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 really intense workout and pulled a muscle all in my back. At the massage that I went to, it was the worst. 10 out of 10 pain, the worst pain that I have ever experienced in my entire life. And I still have to use these opioid pain patches to manage the pain, and I'm 20 days post-op now. It's so painful, you're so sore, you're so stiff, you can barely move. Mass volume liposuction is excruciating. Maybe if I had only gotten 10 pounds removed, I would think differently. But the more you get removed, the more it hurts. It's not easy. You're undergoing surgery, and surgery is not like a little cute little trip to the Botox clinic. This is a major surgery. Any surgery carries risk. Right before you go into surgery, there's a big chance that you'll have an emotional breakdown because you don't want to die. You don't want to become a statistic because there is a chance that when you go under, you might not come out. The thing that's making me so sad and regretful is like, it would be very heartbreaking when he dropped me off at the airport. That was the last time that he ever saw me. So, because I feel like people don't like talk about it. People don't discuss like the risks and the emotions that you go through before something like this. See you on the other side. And if you don't see me, then I'm dead. But it was a good run. We had a good run. Everyone goes through it. I've talked to tons of people about this. I'm in I'm in a support group. It seems that every woman before she goes under has the same canon experience, like the night before surgery, where we just have a huge emotional breakdown because we're so scared. You should absolutely not get multiple rounds of BBLs. Every time you get liposuction, you're creating scar tissue in your body. And when you do it in the same area more than once, your risks get higher and higher and higher drastically. It is not normal to get multiple rounds. And don't listen to influencers that are telling you that it's normal to get multiple rounds. You need to take care of your first results the first time. And go to a surgeon that is good enough where you can communicate exactly the shape you want, exactly the volume, and post-op care and instructions are very clear. This one is my opinion, having been through it, but I don't think that you should rely on a family member to take care of you in place of a registered nurse. I already explained that the reason that I went with Dr. Israel Lopez Villalba is because of his amazing before and after results on women who carried a lot of weight in their midsection. And when I was doing my research, I found that the maximum amount of fat that can be taken during liposuction is roughly 4 liters or 11 pounds. Mexico and a lot of Latin America does not have this limitation. How much fat they take from you is at the surgeon's discretion. And I would have never known this had I not asked him while he was drawing on me the night before surgery during our in-person checkup how much he was exactly planning on taking from me, which ended up being 9 liters or 18 pounds. I had a total of 16 pounds of fat just in this area alone, and 1 pound roughly from each arm. Since Mexico doesn't have this limitation, really good surgeons will make you do tons of tests before you come over there. He was so good. He had me do a full cardiology, respiratory exam, all my blood work. We had to do it like 3 times. He put me on really high iron supplements with Stress B and a pre-surgical supplement as well, so that my iron levels, my hemoglobin levels, were very high before surgery. So even though he took 9 liters of fat, I didn't experience any weakness, no symptoms of anemia, no dizziness. The afternoon of my surgery, when I got out of surgery, I was walking around fine. I felt so good that I literally thought they had turned me away. So in a way, the pre-surgical care that you could get for some places in Mexico is actually better than what I found from doing research with doctors in Canada and the United States. I'm very thankful for that because I saw a lot of videos of people who went to doctors in the United States who didn't put them on any sort of pre-surgical supplements or iron or anything. So when they got out of their procedure, they could barely walk.
they had to have nurses assist them just to step in place, and I really didn't want that. I was happy I could walk fine, but nobody prepares you for the pain you'll experience that sets in 2 days after the anesthesia wears off. Most people, after lipo, you leak fluid for a couple of days. I leaked for 17 days, and I had my drain removed at day 19, which is substantially longer than the recommended amount in the United States or Canada to have a drain in or to leak fluid. I had to get 2 lymphatic drainage massages every single day, along with a hyperbaric chamber session or an ultrasonic session. And I had some complications because they took so much from me and there was so much fluid in me. One of the complications being that my left leg would repeatedly swell. After a week of kind of slowly getting better, on day 8, when the swelling started happening in my legs, I was bedridden.
But also my legs randomly started swelling yesterday, so I had to start doing heel-toe exercises like this. Heel, toe, heel, toe. And I get really frustrated because I ask why. Like, why does my leg keep swelling? Why is it just my left foot that's swollen? Today was like the first day that I could put on my own underwear by myself. And now the doctor's concerned about how swollen I am. The doctor just wants me to lay here. She said for the rest of the day, just lay here.
If y'all know anything about blood clots, you know that it's always in one leg, the one leg that swells up. I would have panic attacks. Every time my leg would swell up, I would have panic attacks. And at one point they had to take off all the compression garments from me, lay me down on the bed, put like 3 or 4 pillows underneath my feet. My feet had to be elevated like this, and I would just lay down on my back with my special BBL pillow, back support, and 6 pillows, and I just had to lay there. Luckily, that was enough for the fluid to stop rushing down to my feet. Dr. Israel Lopez had me in the hospital for about 48 hours. I was there the night before my surgery so that they could do a checkup, do a full evaluation, and they gave me like an IV of minerals and vitamins and all this good stuff going into surgery. The hospital was super bougie. They had like a 60-inch flat screen TV. I've never seen a hospital that bougie in my life. It had a mountain view. I was like, wow, so this is what privatized healthcare looks like. Man, I wish Canada had some sort of option like this, because I didn't even know hospitals could be this nice. There was a restaurant with in-room dining to my hospital suite. Never heard of that. And their menu had like 50 different options on it too. Wow. Just wow. I was so blown away by the care and prestige. It was amazing. It was so amazing. The day of my surgery, I was there all day. I got 3 square meals. I had nurses assist me at the push of a button. And then he keeps you 24 hours afterwards to monitor your vitals and make sure everything is going smoothly. After my surgery, I was released to a recovery home, a surgical recovery home. And he recommended that I stay there for at least 2 weeks with nurses who could monitor my vitals, administer my medication, and give me massages. The one that I stayed at was Casa Ambar. During your recovery, this is something that no one prepared me for either. During your recovery, your whole life, at least for the first 7 to 10 days, for me, it was 2 weeks. Your whole life is about your recovery. My schedule, recovering. 7 a.m., the nurse wakes me up to give me my medication. 8 a.m., we have breakfast downstairs. 9 a.m., the driver arrives to bring me to the hospital to get a massage at the doctor's office, which was included in the package. 11:30 a.m., I get back to the recovery house. I usually have about 2 hours of free time. In those 2 hours, sometimes I would do my hour-long hyperbaric chamber session. 2 p.m. we have lunch on the patio with the other girls that are staying there, and they give me more medication. After lunch, I go for a 15-minute walk around the house. 3 p.m. is when I have my second massage of the day. Then they take me to the shower, and they shower me and wash my hair, and then they redress me and sanitize everything. Usually we're done by 5 p.m. Then I take another 15-minute walk, lay down for a little bit. 7 p.m. they come in and serve dinner. Usually I finish dinner by around 8 o'clock, and by that time I'm so tired that I usually just go to sleep. And that was my day. Every day for 2 weeks. Twice a day, at the beginning and end of each day, they would check my blood pressure and my pulse. I know it sounds like amazing post-op care, and it is, but it gets very depressing because it makes you feel like you can't do anything for yourself. I could barely walk, and it wasn't until day 9 or day 10 that I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna walk to the end of the block today. I want to be outside.
Day 10. I am going to walk to the OXXO and back. I am going to walk to the gas station and back. Going to do it on day 10. I'm going to. That's going to be my win. This is the first time in 10 days that I've actually felt like this was worth it. I'm actually happy. For the first time in 10 days, I'm like finally wearing normal clothes. I'm not in a diaper and I went for a walk.
I went outside and I was so happy to have my walk, but by the time I got to the end of the block, which was only like 4 houses down, I was like panting and out of breath and my heart rate was high. Part of it, I think, is also having faja anxiety, which is another thing that I never heard somebody talk about before. When something is squeezing you constantly, especially if you're in a hot city and it's a sunny day and it's really hot outside, but you're in this squeezy full body compression garment with these pads and stuff, you kind of start to panic. I started panicking. I thought that I was gonna have like a panic attack in the middle of the road. I thought that I was gonna have heat stroke. I didn't want to be in that faja. All I wanted to do was just take off the faja and just go for a regular walk like I normally do every day. That really mentally drained me a lot. I did cry every single day that I was in the recovery home because I felt like I was just like a sick patient, and my whole schedule, my whole daily schedule was my health. I didn't have time to read my book, get any work done, barely got schoolwork done. I wanted to at least finish all my schoolwork while I was there. When you have a major surgery like liposuction or a mommy makeover or a BBL, even breast augmentation.
Hey y'all, so I'm officially 2 days post-op from BBL and Lipo 360. Today was my day to fly back home, and so y'all know I had to get some wheelchair service. And I'm actually not headed right back home after my surgery. I'm going to Vegas so my grandma can take care of me.
I think you should absolutely not have a family member take care of you because there's just way too much that can go wrong way too quickly after a major surgery. And it is far, far safer to have nurses with you 24/7 who can check things like why my left leg was suddenly swelling up and only my left leg, not my right one, or why I was experiencing extreme pain after 8 days, to make sure that nothing gets infected and there's no redness or hotness or fever or chills, your blood pressure is still okay, your pulse is still okay. I feel that when people have major surgeries, going home right afterwards might heavily increase your chances of you having a post-op complication. I was really fortunate to have stayed at Casa Ambar for 2 weeks, and I'm really thankful for the level of care that I got, especially with all of my little complications and how many questions I ask about myself. Is this normal? Is this normal? Is this normal? This hurts. Is this normal? I feel like there's a little bit of racism also when you talk about having surgery abroad. Mention wanting to get something done in Mexico and chances are somebody is gonna tell you,
oh, you're gonna get kidnapped and wake up missing a kidney down there. It's so dirty in Mexico. Ugh.
Yet those same people would have no problem taking a 16-hour flight to Korea to get a V slimming jaw shave, or to Turkey to the nose job mills. What people don't realize is some of the most talented body sculpting surgeons in the world practice in cities like Guadalajara, Mexico City, or Medellin, Colombia. And Mexico, one of the reasons that I went is because they had far better aftercare program than anywhere that I could find in Canada. Guadalajara, in Zapopan, my area, wasn't just safe, it was bougie. It felt like I was in Malibu or Calabasas, somewhere very, very exclusive, where like really, really rich people live. It was cleaner and safer than Beverly Hills, and it definitely was not the type of city where I would wake up without a kidney. But just because it didn't happen to me doesn't mean that surgeries don't carry real dangers. So, let's be real here. The average person can't just easily afford a $30,000 surgery at Kylie Jenner's surgeon's office in Beverly Hills. So going somewhere where the cost of surgery is cheaper is becoming increasingly popular, like plastic surgery abroad vacations. Even rich influencers now are all going abroad or at least out of town to have surgery done, especially places like Miami or Atlanta. And some really, really bad, really shady companies know this, and they take advantage of this and leave you, the hard-working consumer, botched and infected. There are hospitals, usually with a catchy name like Bratz Doll Surgeries or Perfect Body Wellness. I just made these names up. If these are real businesses, I promise I'm not slandering you, but I'm sure you've seen their ads on Instagram if you've ever Googled any sort of body surgery online. These companies usually advertise some crazy sale or deal where you can get plastic surgery at a discounted price, maybe even buy one get one free if you bring a friend, and they're usually, almost always, in Miami, Florida, which has become a huge hotspot for body surgery. Do not go to these companies.
An Orlando mother says that she traveled to Miami to undergo a popular cosmetic surgery to feel better, but instead ended up in the hospital.
And as NBC6 investigator Miriam Masihi found, the Florida Health Department was already looking into the surgery center when she did the procedure.
Well, the family of a Tennessee mother who lost her life after undergoing a popular plastic surgery procedure in Miami is suing the surgical center and the doctor who performed the operation.
And it's a case the NBC6 investigators have been following for years.
Russell had the popular plastic surgery at Seduction Cosmetic Center on Southwest 8th Street. State records show her surgeon, Dr. John Sampson, entered the operating room at about 6:32 that morning and performed 6 other surgeries before Russell's procedure, which began at about 8:31 in the evening.
By the time he got around to our client after 8:30 at night, he was on his now 7th procedure of the day.
If something feels too good to be true, it usually is. What people don't realize is the reason that they're able to make these surgeries so cheap and on sale is because they're cutting costs at every possible level. These infamous BBL mills of Miami have faced all kinds of severe health violations, like lacking specialized drugs to save you during surgery, failing to have any sort of risk management plans with their patients, failing to do any sort of in-person exams of their patients before performing surgery on them, failing to provide any sort of recovery care or post-op instructions, which can lead to severe complications. And there was even a surgeon in Miami who mistook fat for someone's appendix. Did you get your medical license on Temu? You don't know the difference between fat and someone's appendix? Do you not do surgery every single day? Were you high when you went to the surgery room? But this is why it's not Guadalajara or Mexico City. It's Miami, Florida that's responsible for 92% of BBL-related deaths in all of the United States of America. The only other place with a higher fatality rate is the Dominican Republic, where almost 100 US citizens have passed away while getting body surgery. There's no doubt that parts of Mexico are definitely dangerous, and the experience that you'll get at a discount surgery clinic in Tijuana will probably be drastically different than my experience in Zapopan, Jalisco. But this sort of danger exists everywhere, not just abroad. And that's a huge reason why I wanted to make this video, so that people don't see that, oh, their favorite influencer online got body surgery. Oh, her surgeon's really expensive. I'll just go somewhere in Miami for $3,000 and then wind up possibly horribly injured. Why spend all that money and go through all that trouble only to end up looking better before? Which leads me to my next point. Coincidentally, if you choose to go the surgery route, prepare yourself for people telling you that you looked better before or being disappointed in you for getting surgery. Because despite how normalized and transparent people are about it online, there's still a huge stigma that invites intense scrutiny and harassment, and not just from strangers online, but from people that are actually close to you. While my best friends and boyfriend were all super supportive of my entire surgery journey, I had a group chat with everyone in it, and I would send them daily updates, like every hour, what was happening, how I was doing, making sure that, you know, I was still alive. I was surprised when I told some of my other friends from my hometown that I was getting liposuction and how stale and cold some of their responses were. They didn't even bother to check in on me or respond to my messages after I got out of surgery. And I thought that was just so bizarre to suddenly be treated like I was less than because I made a choice about my own body that has no effect on them whatsoever. Coincidentally, at the same time I got my surgery, another influencer that I follow, Natalia Alessandra, was also getting a facelift in Turkey. So before you get a facelift, doctors make you dissolve everything unnatural in your face. You have to dissolve your lips, any filler, remove your eyelash extensions, and I think she also said you have to remove any sort of microblading or tattoos or something that you might have. So when she did this to prep for surgery, removed everything and showed her natural face, she told the internet that her natural face, which her followers had been begging to see ever since she started making content 2 years ago, she told the internet that her natural face was actually the results of a facelift. I already got my facelift, and this is the results. She refers to this as the better before theory.
Everybody absolutely hates my facelift. But the truth is, I never got a facelift. Or I haven't gotten a facelift. I am getting facelift. I'm currently getting a facelift. All of this is filmed weeks ago. I wanted to use this channel to create a social experiment that I was calling the Better Before Project. I just kind of wanted to explore the theme that people will say you look better before, no matter the result. So for years, I've got extreme hate about my eyebrow tattoos, my eyelashes, my lips, my filler. When I had to go get this facelift, I had to remove all of that and go back to my original natural face, which is this, my natural face. Something that I don't hate, but I modified because it's my fucking body. So instead of coming online and saying that, I wanted to reverse and say that the result of my facelift is the result of reversing everything I've already had done, so that when you guys hate it, it proves that you guys don't really hate results, you just hate the idea of somebody having autonomy over their own body. And therefore, as a society that claims that these celebrities that you look up to, you just want them to be honest. You just want the Kardashians to be honest. You want to prove that you guys want to be lied to. I'm also pretty sure a lot of people will tell me I look the same, which also proves my point. Because a lot of these comments say I am ugly because of my lashes, because of my lips, because when that is just my face. I gave you something claiming that you guys have been wanting for so long, but I put it under a different label. And you said you didn't like it. I'm also going to be turning off the comments after exactly getting that, because I know people are going to go back and they're going to be like, no, I swear I liked you after.
And I think that if people already dislike the notion of plastic surgery or any sort of body modifications or cosmetic procedures, then it doesn't really matter what you look like after the surgery. They're always going to tell you that you looked better before, because people tend to have a lot of moral judgment attached to being natural. Natural is associated with discipline, good habits, authenticity. It's labeled as good, whereas having cosmetic work is attached to being vain, shallow, insecure, trying too hard. So negative reactions to somebody getting plastic surgery aren't often about the results of surgery itself, but a reaction to what they think it says about your character.
She got plastic surgery? She's so shallow. She cares so much about her looks. Wow, I can't believe she's that type of person that would do that. Wow.
Sometimes, whether you get baby Botox or a deep plane facelift, there will still be people that will think of your character as less than and your face as prettier before. So, was it worth it? The truth is, I can't sit here and promote plastic surgery to my younger audience at all, in good faith. What I had done was a serious, traumatic surgical procedure. I do not recommend getting something like this done if you're maybe under the age of like 25. I kind of wish that I had waited as well. I felt like it was just a lot. It was a lot for my body to take on, and I wasn't ready for that type of pain. This is a really difficult thing to put yourself through. It's expensive, it's uncomfortable, painful, it's scary. I have fibrosis in both of my armpits, and I have a seroma on my back that I'm still dealing with daily, which is also a really normal, common thing with liposuction too, fibrosis and seromas, but nobody talks about it, and somehow nobody's ever admitted to getting fibrosis or a seroma when they get liposuction. And honestly, there were a lot of moments where I cried and I wished that there was just some way for me to have been happy with my body. I wish that I didn't have to go through this. I wish I would have just found a way to love myself and love my natural shape. So for that reason, I don't think that anyone under the age of 25 should get something like this. I think it's far too extreme. I think you should wait. But for my audience who's over the age of 25, maybe moms with a few kids, you're done having kids now, you want to refresh on your body, maybe you lost a lot of weight and you have a lot of extra skin, or you're people like me who have just been wanting to change something about their body for a very, very long time. I would say that the long-term benefits and this newfound confidence outweigh the short-term pain. The other day I went for a walk in a tight t-shirt for the first time in years, and I almost cried because I didn't feel like I needed to cover up my stomach. I'm so used to wearing huge, baggy clothing, extra large sizes to hide in my clothes. And for the first time, I can wear something tight.
Day 8 post-op, and today was the first day that I actually felt like I'm getting better. And you can kind of almost see my jawline results now. It's still swollen under this part, and here is still swollen, but bro, I look like myself again. I haven't looked like this in like 2 years since I gained so much freaking weight. Oh my god, I'm like getting emotional because I actually look like myself again. Like I forgot what my face looks like when I don't have a massive double chin. This is an emotional moment for me.
I absolutely recommend the surgeon that I went to, Dr. Israel Lopez Villalfa. The degree of pre and post surgical care that I got was outstanding. The communication that I had with his team was constant. He put me in a WhatsApp group chat and I asked them, I badgered them every day for like months. They were right there answering me within a matter of like minutes to hours. As I said, I'm day 20 post-op today and I still have a long way to go. So if any of y'all are interested, here are my official before and afters. As you can see, I did carry a ton of weight in my stomach and now I have abs and stomach lines. Mind you, I am 20 days post-op and I have a very long way to go. I won't see my full results for another couple months, but when I do, when the swelling goes down and the seroma heals and my fibrosis goes away, it's over for y'all. I'm just kidding. Even though I really wish people would have been more transparent about how hard the recovery is, I think the results that I got make it absolutely worth it. But with that being said, I would not bother getting something like this done unless you're like me and you're very heavily dissatisfied with your body for a very long time. If you like your body and you appreciate your body, I wouldn't do this. Because if I had a chance to love myself and love my body, I would have taken it. I would have. But unfortunately, it wasn't in the cards for me. So what I regret is I regret not losing weight before my liposuction surgery. I think had I lost weight, had I tried really extra hard to lose weight before my surgery, I think that I would have had a way easier recovery time. I wish someone had told me that it would have been a good idea for me to lose weight before my surgery. I know it's kind of everywhere online, oh, you should be within 10 pounds of your ideal body weight, but I didn't know what negative 10 pounds was going to look like if he just took 10 pounds from this midriff. Because my weight gain was caused by Seroquel, I tried everything to lose weight. Like, no one knows this, but I actually tried Ozempic. Like I was prescribed Ozempic for months and I had a really bad reaction to it. I was sick every single day and I only lost 5 pounds in 2 months. So I don't know what those Hollywood people are doing. I think y'all are just... Okay, y'all, if you made it to the end of this video, comment the peach emoji down below so I know y'all are OGs and made it to the end. And if y'all have any questions for me, any questions about anything at all, drop them down below and I'll address them in another video update in maybe like 2 months from now or something. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy, let me know, and boop the subscribe button down below. But that is enough from me, y'all. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will see ya in the next one.